Hello, everyone. I'm Ryan Serkis here with men's volleyball head coach Ryan Rock Parat. Rock, big news coming out for the schedule recently. A very grueling schedule, especially for you as a first-time head coach here. A lot of streaking, if you will, a lot of home games followed by away games. What is it about this schedule, especially starting off January 8th against Alderson Broderus, and then followed up by the big match against Stanford?
Well, overall, I like the balance of our schedule. First of all, you're right. It is a grueling schedule. As a first-year head coach, I'm very, very excited the fact that we can spend 16 out of our 28 dates here at home. Yes, opening up against a new school, Alderson Broderus out of Virginia. That'll be a nice tune-up match for us as we get ready to play Stanford. So we're very, very excited to have a stiff West Coast competition for us in Stanford.
And looking at the first road trip, going at St. Francis, followed up by the MIVA and EIVA competition at Penn State, a team that you guys were able to top last year when they were ranked 10th in the nation. What's it going to be like heading into hostile territory?
Well, it'll be different, and that's a tough trip for us in January, going out to St. Francis. They're a young volleyball team, but we're going to be very, very competitive. Penn State will be a different team. They lost their best player this year, but they recruit very, very well there at State College. So it'll be a very different experience playing there. We're going to play on the same floor that they're going to host the national tournament. So the guys, I'm sure, will be very, very excited to go out that way. Then the following week to go out and play NJIT and George Mason. Again, really difficult environments to play in with great facilities, especially George Mason, who they're going to have a big change with a new head coach this year. So, we're excited to get on the road, try and work out the kinks a little bit early on, get a tough non-conference schedule going before we encounter MIVA matches.
And looking at the MIVA matches, still on the road, it looks like 6 or 7 straight away games to end January and starts February 1st. MIVA matches at Ohio State, McKendree, Ball State also on the trip. What's it like starting the MIVA competition?
To go on the road to play Ohio State and McKendree right away, but you got to play them sometime. And it helps that at the end of the year we get to play those guys to finish off our year here at home. And our conference is from top to bottom. The parity is there again this year. It's deep. It's competitive. There's so much talent across the board from Team 1 down to Team number 9. So it will be a difficult start to open up at Ohio State and then McKendree and then Ball State.
When you do head back home, the schedule clearly does not get any easier as we host Lewis, host Loyola, the two teams that competed for the national championship, Loyola being the homecoming match. Clearly the MIVA is much, much more difficult than it may get credit for sometimes. Looking at the Lewis and the Loyola match, the first of a combined 4 matches against them, what's it going to be like trying to reach their level of competition?
Well, perhaps fortunately for us and the rest of the conference, they have lost some key pieces to their teams, both of them. So I think the playing level, especially with the new kids that we have coming in, will inspire some hungriness. Obviously, you should be hungry to play the defending 2-time national champions Loyola, especially homecoming Saturday. Lewis, we've always had a great rivalry with the Flyers ever since I was a player here, and that's carried on. Including this past season. Obviously, we've had 2 grueling matches with them this past year. So the Friday night match against Lewis is at 7 p.m. The homecoming match is at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So that'll be a quick turnaround to play the defending 2-time national champions, but something that I think our guys are pretty excited about.
And looking at some of the specific matches and some of the events other than homecoming, it looks like on February 27th against Lindenwood, the annual Blue Out event. I know it's been a big part of men's volleyball in the past, but what does the Blue Out event mean to you?
Well, it's a tremendous event, and I'm glad that we started this a few years back. I think it's a wonderful endeavor that our institution acknowledges such a very, very special event as our Blue Out. We're hoping, obviously, for a massive turnout as we have in the past, late there against the Lindenwood in February. And it just means the world to have the support of their institution to go ahead and continue with such a tradition as Blue Out.
The senior night on March the 26th against Ohio State, what has this current group of seniors shown you, even in your past couple of years?
Well, I think the transition with myself jumping now into the head coaching role, I think there's a little energy to that. The fact that you're ending with a very, very important MIVA match at home. You've got to be able to take care of your business on your home court. And that's something we're going to need to do with senior night, and with all the distractions and everything else that goes along with it, you have to buckle down and play. So I think it's going to be a wonderful event here to host the Buckeyes for senior night.
Okay. And lastly, after the Buckeyes match on senior nights, 4 straight MIVA road games, and hopefully heading into hosting another MIVA first round, possibly second round. What's it like ending the season like that?
Well, the good thing this year is we're not ending it out in Phoenix, Arizona, like we did last year. We'll end it in Chicago against Loyola and Lewis. And I'd like to think that by that time of the year, we'd like to be playing our best volleyball going into the tournament the following weekend. It'd be nice again to have a second consecutive home quarterfinal MIVA match. But from top to bottom, when you take a look at our schedule, I'm very, very pleased with it. Overall, I do like the balance. I like our depth in our conference and with our calendar, and I'm hoping that our schedule pays dividends for us.
Thank you, Coach, and best of luck this year.
Thank you very much.